So we're here and we're going to be investigating Shrewsbury medieval town walls. But of course, Shrewsbury as well as we know it, as in the medieval Shrewsbury, started straight after the Norman invasion of 1066. And the first place the Normans headed was the current location of Shrewsbury Castle. They fortified it, as we said in a previous video. I think it was the Laura's Tower one. Fortified it and basically laid claim to it. Saxons did not have a castle there, although they did have some fortifications in Shrewsbury town centre, but there's not much left of them now. But of course, for the first 150 years of Shrewsbury's history under the Normans, the castle was the main defence. So the houses would be clustered near the castle, and there were no town walls until the early 1200s, early 13th century, when consistent invasions from the Welsh, Llewellyn the Great being one, kept coming here and burning the town down basically. So the town walls were commissioned by the king. I think it's King Henry III. We're covering all the Henrys on this channel lately. And even though Llewellyn did burn Shrewsbury down subsequently, the town walls were built. And we're going to show you, other than the main part of town walls, which the remaining part about a mile that direction, we'll show you some little bits that we've got left that you might walk past and not know anything about. So anyway, buckle up and I'll see you out here. I just made our way from Castle Gates, and here we have what is a section of the old town walls. It's very higgledy-piggledy, hodgepodge, which is indicative of all the restoration works and restorations made over the years. Section of the wall known as Meadow Place, and town walls would have run roughly in this direction. Pigeons on a pyramid, maybe. So we're here just off of Ravens Meadows, Charles Darwin Centre, and back at Pride Hill here. And just interestingly, the town walls basically stuck to the bluff, the hill of Shrewsbury, one of the hills, the two hills, you know, making it easier to defend. But this is the back. It's a bit bright today, but this is the back of the former McDonald's, and this was the guardhouse, which you could go in when it was McDonald's. I have got some pictures which I might add to the presentation. Yeah, so this is the interior of McDonald's as taken in 2017, just before it shut. So you can see the walls, very much like the exterior walls. Quite interesting. I would have done a video on it, but I wasn't doing the channel like it is now in 2017. But you can't go in there now, it's a retail shop. I think that's their warehouse. But it is a major surviving piece of Shrewsbury's medieval town walls that is not at what is known as town walls today. Like I say, we're about a mile away. So our main point of reference for today's tour is the Burghley map of 1575. As you can see, Welsh Bridge just peeping out through there. We'll have a better look in a minute. But the town walls would have, this is back of Mardle here, and we have showed it on one of our shots videos, would have gone up here with the town ditch just coming down here for the shot that we showed, King's Head Passage. But like I say, this would have all been Ravens Meadows. So basically, still floodplain, and it was not built on because it was a known floodplain in those days. So, you know, things were very the same and different. Made our way up here on Welsh Bridge. Just bring this to your attention. Commit no nuisance. it's in sort of code for do not urinate publicly, apparently. That's what I've heard. Yeah, oldest bridge in Shrewsbury, but the Welsh bridge, as we've said, I think it was on one of the Witches of Shrewsbury video early this year, looked very different in the 1200s and medieval time. But the Town Wall would have continued its journey along here, Victoria Avenue. Gorgeous Georgian. So Town Wall would have continued pretty much up here at the quarry gates. Made its way along what is now today known as Town Walls, the part that everybody knows that you can visit freely. Not that you can't visit all of it freely, but you may not know you're visiting it freely when you're visiting it freely. So allow third-rate content to clear up any confusion. So everything to the left of Shrewsbury Girls High School is now known today, in the modern world, as Town Walls, and we're going to investigate it. Of new builds here on Town Walls, very tasteful and in keeping, as you would expect here on Town Walls, and you wouldn't really have expected it to get planning permission if it hadn't been. This is a really fine townhouse here just off Town Walls, up this little drive. Yeah, I've got no knowledge of what this very fancy grand building built in 1834 was. If anybody knows and you'd like to tell us in the comments, that would be most appreciated, I'm sure. And then just next to it, this row of cottages, which again, quite low key, but absolutely lovely cottages. Here is the 1200s guard tower, now owned by the National Trust and operated by the National Trust. Very rarely open, to be honest.
It's called Winfield's Tower.
Oh, cheers, buddy. That is such good luck. So this is where they guarded Shrewsbury from 1200s, 1300s, 1400s. These gentlemen are now doing work here, electricians, skilled work. And you can see the modified slot holes, but yeah, that's fantastic.
Look at that door as well. Yeah. I don't know if it's original, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, these, there was probably about 6 or 7 of these dotted around the Town Walls, both that way and going that way, about another 3 going down that way, but none remain today. This is the only one remaining. Yeah, another relic, this Victorian drinking fountain right next to an even older relic. Third-rate content.
Jones, and you're watching third-rate content.
Brilliant.
Never give up, never let anyone plant seeds in your life, live your own enriched life, and things will come that are good.
That's brilliant philosophy, Glenn. Thank you, mate. Thanks for sharing.
The Georgian house here next to the guardhouse on Town Walls.
And next to another location featured in two of our previous videos, the Crescent. Of course, the Crescent featured in Christmas Carol, 1984.
The Hollywell's house right here.
And do you know what one of my fantasies is? It's coming in my head right now, is if somebody comes out of that door now and says, "Oh, third-rate content. I watch your videos, I love them. Would you like to come in and do the interior shots?" And I would, of course, say, yes. And then I wake up and it was all a dream. But never mind, one day, maybe. But yeah, this beautiful, this row of 4 houses on this Crescent development. A part of Town Walls, really, as well as having a different address. It's part of the Town Walls scene. Probably be due to Town Walls, the very old ancient part of Town Walls, starting right next to it, just along here on Town Walls, site of Shrewsbury Roman Catholic Cathedral. So Shrewsbury was kind of left behind, and the population did start to fall. But one of the pluses, I suppose you could say, is that Shrewsbury became quite religiously tolerant in this point.
probably due to this isolation.
A place where Catholics, Quakers, Presbyterians and other sort of fringe religions to England found a foothold. And Shrewsbury originally had a very small Catholic community which had a church. I'm not 100% sure where that was at the moment. I'm researching it currently, but about 100 years ago this was built, and it became Shrewsbury as a Catholic faith has a strong hold in Shrewsbury, and especially on town walls and Belmont. Here today, absolutely fantastically beautiful classic cars being used. So Wolseley. So the town walls terminates, well, it doesn't actually terminate, but it finishes as far as we can see it right here, next to this Victorian looking red brick telepost club. And I don't even know if this place is open anymore. It could be, yeah, it's shut. But I remember that being open probably 25 years ago, but it's not now. It's abandoned. Scenes of abandonment. Curtains. I hate net curtains.
Yeah, we'll head down Crescent Lane and have another alternative aspect view of the town walls.
Yeah, we're going to have a little look down the back of the Crescent, and I can tell you some of my third-rate recollections from being a child, because I haven't been down here for years and years. Yeah, so my third-rate recollections down here, the back of the Crescent, more childhood recollections of coming down to the Crescent Crane Green Bowling Club, which with my dad basically as a young child under 10, and spending many summer evenings down here. And I rolled a few ends on the Crescent's green. So let's go have a look. And it's been 30 odd years since I've been down here, because my dad stopped playing Crane Green bowls when I was about 10 or 11. He took up golf, and I never saw the Crescent Crane Green bowling green again, and I never saw my dad again for the rest of my childhood. But joking aside, it's been a long time since I've been down here, so let's go have a look. So down here they've got a lot of sports activity. So you've got Shrewsbury Lawn Tennis Club there. I never played there. It wasn't really our scene. We were more obviously Crane Green bowls people. But yeah, there was lawn tennis down here. A hard court tennis club here as well, right next to the Crescent. And I'll tell you a couple of stories about the Crescent. Moved down to Shrewsbury, what, first sort of 7 or 8 years that we lived here. My dad played for the Crescent Bowling Club. That picture. But one of the players who was a member here back then was the legendary Crane Green bowler, Dick Merrick, who throughout the 20th century, for most of it, pre-war and post-war I think, was the premier Crane Green bowler. He won competitions all over the country, and when he was getting on in years, he gave my dad his woods, initial Dick Merrick, because he knew he was getting on and he was probably going to pass soon. So he gave him my dad, and my dad still got them, and I will show you them now. And there we have it, holy rolling relics of Crane Green bowls, the very woods of Richard Dick Merrick, Crane Green bowls legend. Yeah, when we were kids, like I said, I had quite a few ends on this green.
It's looking quite dry. It's not surprising at this time of year.
As a child, I drank a lot of Coca-Cola in that clubhouse, and I marked quite a few scorecards as I got older, until my dad, like I said, retired from Crane Green bowls. But as on important league matches, the kids, myself and the other bowls kids, would kind of be shooed off a bit, because important games were going on. And we used to play, when it was tense, we used to play in this field, and it was just an open field then, I think owned by perhaps Shrewsbury Girls High School, but there was no problem playing in here. But obviously now, being in a slightly more dystopic age, it's all fenced off and restricted. So I don't know if the kids, if there is any playing down here, can get on the field when it's tense times. Yeah, and here you can sort of see the different grades and stone used in the town walls from this side. Obviously, just like the rest of it, patched up and repaired over the years, because these walls were in use for quite a few hundred years, so replacements would have to be made. Blue World, just on Wildcott. We're going to go have a look at the Illuminate quality bookshop on Wildcott, and this is the kitchen, and it is actually an original piece of Shrewsbury Town Wall, which ducked underground where we last saw it by Telecom House and has popped up here on Wildcott. The back of blue, absolutely beautiful. We're just going to go and have a little look. It's a lovely garden they've got out here. It's like Nag's Head Part 2. We're just looking at the town walls. There they are. So they continued all the way along. You're right there, thank you. And there you go. They pop up just where you wouldn't expect. Come along here. And these loopholes were actually made in the English Civil War to shoot people. Can't see it today because it's August, but shoot people towards the castle. So yeah, refortified, I think the word is. So thank you for watching to the end of third rate content, our presentation today. I'm very glad I'm not a Welshman standing here on a Sunday a few hundred years ago, because I'd be liable to be shot by someone with an arrow up there, because there was a bylaw passed that any Welshman could be shot by a resident, a citizen of Shrewsbury from the town walls on a Sunday. I am 1/4 Welsh on my mother's side, but you know, hopefully it's a Friday anyway. It's Friday the 5th of August, and like I say, there's no one up there with an arrow, so I think we're safe. But thank you for watching to the end. It's been quite a fun video. I've enjoyed learning a few things and visiting some places that I've never visited, e.g. the back of the Illuminate shop. But if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. Please comment, as you know, I do love a good comment, and I read them all. And don't forget to hit that notifications bell to stay updated with all third rate content goings on. Must remember to keep saying that. But anyway, third rate content, sign out, and I'll see you soon.